Welcome back, good people. How's your heart right now? Is it kind? How's your mind right now? Is it calm? If you add a D to anger, it's danger. We discuss on this channel a lot of different things, and one is being mistreated when we were younger. I know what it's like. I've been there. And I'm sure you have stories like mine. I'd also be willing to bet your stories are worse than mine. But if you're watching this video right now, you survived. You survived. What I want to say about anger or holding resentments, where it concerns a person or people, is I'm sure you've shared your story with other people and you've had all kinds of responses. Let it go. Just forget about it. Yeah, I don't blame you. I don't blame you. Add that. I've even had people tell me that my parents did the best job they could. I get it, but it doesn't help me heal. What do we do when we get all worked up when we think back on what happened? And maybe you're on the right path. You're being the best version of yourself, as Ralph Smart says. You're doing the best you can every day. You come a long way, right? Some people will say you need to forgive them. You need to forgive them. Now, next month I'll be 20 years clean and sober and spiritual. And I have more time than that, but I went back out after 13 years. I went back out after 13 years, started drinking again and doing all the other nonsense that goes with that. And I did that for 3 years, and luckily, I made it back, got my act together, learned my lesson in 2004, August 24th, and decided to look at my spiritual condition differently than I did before. I know today I can't get complacent, no matter how I feel. If I'm upset by something, or I'm feeling out of sorts because of my health conditions, physical disabilities, guess what? I still go on that front porch, on my deck, and meditate in silence for 5 to 10 minutes every morning. One of the two of the benefits from that is I develop discipline doing that every day. I develop discipline. I'm out there. I don't take my phone out. I get up, get a coffee, go out on my deck, and sit for 5 to 10 minutes with a coffee. No distractions. I don't turn the TV on right away. I don't go on Facebook. I don't check emails. I don't check text messages. Grab a coffee, boom. I'm right out there for 5 to 10 minutes. Excuse me. So that routine, it's a routine now. And it develops discipline. It also develops patience. You develop discipline and patience from this routine, sitting there in silence, just letting your thoughts flow. Like a creek. You know, a creek, the water flows. Well, in your mind, it's your thoughts flowing. And after a while, your thoughts slow down and become still. Did you ever walk along a creek and the water's going? Not like a river, it's moving. And then there's like a pond of still water. The creek's still flowing into it, pond of still water, and the creek's flowing out of it. So that's what happens with my thoughts. And that's the time I start to collect my thoughts. It took a long time to get to that point. So as soon as my thoughts slow down, get still, well, what do I have to do today? I ask myself. What do I need to do today? What's important? In my situation, I think about, is it something physical that, maybe I should do that when I have the most energy. For me, it's in the morning. It develops discipline. It develops patience. And that leads to restraint. Restraint. You're rewiring your brain. I learned this from neuroscience. You're rewiring your brain. In a way, you're getting rid of destructive lines of communication in your mind. You start not to wake up and think about horrible things right away. You go out there. Even if you wake up thinking of horrible things, you go out there. Is there someone out there that wakes up in the morning and all of a sudden you think of horrible things, or your thoughts are just racing like crazy? Here's what I used to do. If I opened my mind and my mind was racing, pedal to the floor, I would repeat the serenity prayer over and over and over. The serenity prayer. If you don't know it, you can look it up. The short version. God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. So what I was doing, when I did that, I blocked out that racing mind, and I focused on a serenity prayer. And after a while, instead of having racing thoughts for an hour, it went down to a half hour. Then it went down to 20 minutes. Then it went down to 10 minutes. Then I could wake up. I hope I could wake up. And then when I would wake up and say that serenity prayer, I didn't have to say it over and over and over and over and over again. I could say it 2, 3, 4, 5 times maybe at the most. And my mind was calm. We're training our mind. We're training our mind. And then go and sit in silence for 5 to 10 minutes. So now we're training our mind again. I want you to heal. I want you to enjoy this life and live every day to the fullest. So these are things I did. If you don't want to say the serenity prayer, I've known people, they'd wake up, their mind is racing all these thoughts, and they'd repeat the Lord's Prayer over and over again. So like the serenity prayer and the Lord's Prayer, you just keep saying it over and over and over again. You wake up, mind's racing, serenity prayer over and over, Lord's Prayer over and over. You go to the bathroom, you're still saying it over and over in your mind. You get your coffee, you're still saying it over and over in your mind. You go out and sit on the deck. I promise you, after a period of time, and I'm sure everybody's different, it may zap that impulse to have those thoughts in a couple of weeks. It may take a month. It may take a couple of months. I've learned to try new things. Try new things. Someone left me a comment earlier. Man, it was a spiritual gem. It was a spiritual gem. And it went, a villain gets hurt by the world and says, I'm going to hurt the world back. A hero says, I got hurt by the world and I'm going to help make sure that other people don't get hurt. The villain says, I got hurt by the world, so I'm going to hurt the world back. The hero says, I got hurt by the world and I'm going to make sure nobody else gets hurt. So this thing about forgiveness, what is forgiveness? You'll get many answers, many answers. And my mind in that area has shifted over the years with new information. My first sponsor in AA, it's like a spiritual guide, used to say to me, let me just tell you, Johan, forgiveness means you're not going to retaliate. Forgiveness means you're not going to retaliate. You may not forget it, he'd say, but you're not going to retaliate. That's what forgiveness is. Well, that's 50% of the remedy. And what I've added to that is, forgiveness means you're not going to retaliate. It's not anything personal with them. This is about you, not them. You're not going to retaliate, and you're going to stop being angry or holding resentment. Because anger and resentments affect your body. It's not healthy for your body. It's not a good way to live. If you're angry and resentful, it's going to disturb all your encounters throughout the day with other people. It's going to disturb what you need to do each day. Will you be as efficient at what you need to do? Probably not, because you're not paying attention. You're focused on this anger. But it's not healthy for you. Not healthy at all. Sometimes people have so much anger and so much resentments against something that happened a long time ago, and they take it out on people that they're now with that don't deserve it. How do you stop being angry? How do you stop feeling hurt, frustrated, disappointed, or annoyed by it? Chances are you didn't deserve it. I hope you didn't. But if you're hurt, you could say, I didn't deserve to be hurt. If it still frustrates you, then that's on you. Maybe the answer isn't knowing why it happened, okay? Of course you're disappointed. It may have involved your parents, step-parent, guardian, family member, friend, whatever the case may be. And you're disappointed. That's a natural human reaction. Okay? You have a right to be disappointed if you trusted that person, okay? I'm not saying you have a right to be angry. I'm saying you have a right to be disappointed. Have you ever been disappointed, like when you were a kid or older, there's something you really wanted, maybe for Christmas, you didn't get it. Maybe you were older and you had your mind set on buying a certain bicycle or motorcycle and the deal fell through. You were disappointed, okay? You got over it. In that sense. And annoyed, well, Annoyed is the distant cousin of anger. People can stay annoyed for a long time. And if you're holding something that annoys you still, other things are going to annoy you that normally wouldn't. And then everything's going to annoy you. And here's the sequence now. And that annoyance is going to turn into being disappointed a lot because you're hanging on to being annoyed. Now you're getting disappointed a lot. And then you start getting frustrated more because you're hanging on to this anger. You're hanging on to this annoyance. Now it develops into more disappointment, more frustration, and then you're going to feel hurt all over again. And it's going to feel worse. Most likely it's going to feel worse than the original hurt. Follow me? Don't hurt yourself. I don't know that, who am I? I'm a man with a lot of experiences like you had. I'm blessed with being able to tell a story about experiences. I have a gift for storytelling. And with those experiences I had comes knowledge and wisdom I received from the masters that I applied to my life. The ones that worked, I kept. The ones that didn't, well, I cast them aside. No, I'm nobody special. I don't want to be put on a pedestal. I'm like you. I just found a way out, the answer to the riddle. And I pass this on in my teachings. Some of them are really serious. Some of them are controversial. But I don't lie. I don't lie. I bring the receipts when I have to. I have receipts. So let's get back to this anger thing. So, and forgiveness, all right? I'm not saying you must forgive that person, okay? Here's how I'm going to present it to you. You've been hurt. You've been mistreated. It's time to forgive. What does that mean, Johan? Well, that means you're not going to retaliate. And you're going to stop being angry about it. Okay? Just like I said, when people wake up with all this stuff going on in their mind, pedal to the floor, not always good thoughts, You open your eyes, it's like, whoa, boom. You can feel the hurt, the pain, whatever is going through your mind. Start saying a serenity prayer over and over immediately. Or the Lord's Prayer. Our Father who art in heaven. And do that until your mind calms down. At first, you may say it 50, 100 times. At some point, your mind's going to calm down. You're going to train it. You're refocusing what happens every morning. You're refocusing. You're rewiring the brain. Google it. Can I rewire my brain? You'll be surprised at the answers. Right? How do I stop being angry, Johan? Anger is you're hurt, frustrated, disappointed, and annoyed, okay? The hurt is real. The hurt is real, physical or emotional. I get that. You ever hear somebody say time heals all wounds? If you've been on this channel long enough, you'll know what's coming now. Something for me that I developed. People say time heals all wounds. No, it doesn't. Love heals all wounds. Love heals all wounds. So you're hurt. That's real. Maybe it's not as painful as it was when it happened. Frustrated. Normal reaction. Disappointed. I get it. Annoyed. Right. Those aren't that powerful to destroy your peace and calm. Frustrated, disappointed, or annoyed. But if you don't let go of that anger, that rage, that resentment, right? The more you think about it, the worse you feel about it. Any bit of those three things calming down in your life, frustrated, disappointed, or annoyed over it, if they've calmed down, it's not like that now, okay? You just think about it, it makes you angry. So those three things, they're kind of out of the picture. But when you think about this thing again and it makes you angry and resentful, you're going to start getting annoyed that day by everything. If you think about it and it really makes you angry and resentful, you're going to get disappointed that day by everything. If you think about it and it makes you angry and resentful, you're going to get frustrated that day by everything. And that hurt that's kind of softened for a long time, you're going to resurrect it. And in that anger and all these things going on, in your day you think about this and you're way out of whack over it, the frustration, disappointment, and annoying, all of that's going to multiply. And the hurt is going to come back. And it's going to be worse than the original thing that happened. I'm not telling you to go to the person and say, I forgive you. You need to really go to I don't even know who could explain that to you and make it make sense. So if you're still angry, you're still resentful, or you get angry, you get resentful, I've already told you those consequences. Annoyed, disappointed, frustrated, then the hurt is worse than the first time it happened. And now you're causing problems in your life, your family, your friends, your job. I'm just saying the word forgive. And when I say the word forgive, that means you're not going to retaliate. When I say the word forgive, that means you're going to stop being angry over it. Because it's not good for you to hold on to resentments and anger. And if you don't understand what it's doing to your health, at least understand that explanation I gave you with hurt, frustrated, disappointed, and annoyed. Watch this video again if you have to. You're going to take it out on other people when you think about it one day and You're all full of rage and all full of anger and blood pressure's up. You're going to be disappointed that whole day. You're going to be annoyed that whole day. You're going to be frustrated that whole day. And the anger, the pain, the emotions with it is going to multiply like a volcano. Don't do that. Don't do that. I'm here. I'm living proof. You can work through these things. Remember what I said. And you know what? You could do the same thing. I used to lay down to go to sleep and boom, there go the thoughts. There go the thoughts. Boom, 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 racing. Just like the morning when you wake up with those racing thoughts. Serenity prayer, Lord's Prayer. Okay, now you're going through your day. Man, everything's good. You know, most days are good. Then you go to lay down and you're the type of person, those thoughts start all over again. Pedal to the metal. Do it again. Say the Serenity Prayer or the Lord's Prayer. At first I had to say it hundreds of times. And eventually I fell asleep. I wasn't even aware I fell asleep. But after a while, you're going to train your brain. Just like you train your mind in the morning to not go to those thoughts by doing the Serenity Prayer and the Lord's Prayer. And at some point, you're not going to wake up like that. Or maybe they'll come a little bit. So you say whatever, the Lord's Prayer, Serenity Prayer a couple times, then it stops. Same thing at night. The Lord's Prayer, the Serenity Prayer, those thoughts start going, you'll fall asleep. You'll fall asleep. So as you do these two things, okay? And then you start your morning. I know you have 5 minutes to just go somewhere, not be bothered. Don't check your phone, don't go on the TV, nothing. Get up. Go somewhere where you're not bothered and sit in silence. Let your thoughts flow. Then think about what's important. What do I have to do today? What do I need to do? And now you're training your mind again. You're training yourself to have patience, restraint, actually. You're learning to control your thoughts in a way. That's how it ends up. In a way. All these things I'm telling you, okay? Don't retaliate and don't come down on yourself. Don't come down on yourself and feel bad. You'll work through this. Start there. One more thing I could tell you. If it's in the middle of the night, and I've had this experience when I first got sober back in 1988, I went to counseling like 2 or 3 years once a week. Anyhow, sometimes I'd wake up in the middle of the night, I was angry. Does that ever happen to you? Or maybe today you get angry. Wow, there's nobody I could talk to about this. Maybe you're at the point now that, well, I'm not going to do nothing, but why the heck am I thinking about this again? There are 800 numbers, or 888, or 855. Mental health hotlines with a real counselor on the other end. So if it was during the day, or in the middle of the night, and I got beyond upset about things, I would call those numbers and speak to somebody. You could do that. I hope my experiences are helping you, okay? I mean it. I know what it's like. It's not fun, and it's no joke. But I'm proof, living proof, you will get through this. Until the next video, keep your heart kind and your mind calm. I appreciate you. I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you.